Hey everybody, so my name's Will, and this is V. And you might be going, hey, this looks a little bit more different than normal. Oh, you're right. You know why? Because we're drunk.
We figured it might be interesting to have a podcast episode while we're drunk.
Yeah.
We had about 2 glasses, which is quite a lot for us these days.
Because we don't drink.
Yeah, we rarely drink these days now. But yeah, we just thought it would be interesting to see what the difference is. Does it make our content more interesting? I don't know.
And loosen us up a little while we talk on camera.
Because typically we always plan on what we're going to say and stuff like that. And this time around, we're going to try something new and see what happens.
Okay. So what topic are we going to talk about tonight?
Today, we're going to talk about solo travel. You've done it.
Yes.
I've done it. We've all done it. Just kidding.
All of us have done it.
But we just want to talk about it for those who are thinking about it.
Yeah.
Or who wants to plan on doing it sometime soon in their lives.
Or who wanted to do it but think that they shouldn't for some reason.
Yeah. So we just want to kind of talk about our experiences and kind of see, give us our opinions about certain aspects of it, why it's good and why it may not be good at times.
And if you're wondering, yes, V's hair is purple.
Yeah.
She just dyed it.
She dyed it purple.
And yes, we are wearing our glasses. These are not fake glasses. We actually need these.
I actually need these glasses.
Both of us do.
Yeah. We just kept it on because it was a last minute video. We just started drinking and then we're like, let's film something. I'm like, okay, cool, let's film something.
Usually we just wear our contacts in videos.
Yeah, but anyways, let's start talking about solo travel.
Sure, you go first.
I go first? I think you should go first.
Ask me a question then, young lady.
Where have you solo traveled to?
I have solo traveled to Japan. The first time I went to Japan was a solo travel, actually. It wasn't supposed to be. I was supposed to go with somebody, but it ended up not working out, so I ended up going by myself. And
Mr. Dramatic.
I loved it. I think everybody should at least solo travel once in their life, if not often, because
more is best.
Even though there are dangerous things, and depending on which country you go to, I think Japan is a great country to do anything solo because
super safe,
super low crime rate, and little amounts of stealing. And you can leave camera bags and stuff around, and very little worry about, physical harm to specifically ladies who are afraid to go out at night or go for walks or whatever. I feel like Japan is one of those places where even if you yourself were solo traveling to Japan, you would still feel safe out at nighttime.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. What was it like traveling through Japan all by yourself that one year? Was there any fears or anything like that, and sort of anxieties?
No fears. I mean, you know how I travel. Usually when I go plan a trip, I'm going from place to place all day long.
You have every minute planned, basically.
Not officially planned, but I have stuff on a list that I'm like, I can go do this.
A giant list of things to do.
So I knock things out, 3 or 4 things a day. I'm like, boom, boom, boom.
More than that, at least 5.
No, that's over exaggerating. I digress.
What did you do while you were traveling alone? I mean, were you doing more the nighttime kind of scene or daytime or a little bit of both? Or...
I did want to go to a nightclub at one point during the night, but the night that I had chosen to that I was still in Tokyo and I could go to a nightclub that actually seemed like fun to go to, I had been up since 7 or 8 in the morning and had been walking all day long.
Yeah.
So by the time 9 o'clock rolled around, I was done. I was not gonna.
Feet were tired.
Yeah, I was like, there's no way I can go to a nightclub all night long and go dance or whatever. So I ended up.
Did you stay in the center of Tokyo, close to everything, or were you kind of far off?
Well, I didn't really know the first time what the good and bad spots were going to be, but when I was in Tokyo. I stayed in Chiba, and I stayed in Shinjuku, I believe was the area that I had chosen. But the Shinjuku one was a very small Airbnb. It was like a corner of a apartment is how I would describe it, super tiny.
Tiny.
Kind of like the
Osaka one that we stayed at.
no, the one that were the with
Oh
the
my
red
god.
heart.
Yeah, that is Osaka. Roberto?
Yeah,
We have this thing.
we'll post it up.
Roberto is supposed to be our pervy pillow.
So we picked this Airbnb to go to, and we thought it was going to be okay. It looked just like kind of a funky retro kind of thing. It didn't seem like out of the place at all. But when we got there, it was a tiny corner of a room, kind of like what the one I was describing earlier.
Rough.
And in the middle was a heart-shaped stuffed animal
With hands.
with arms and hands,
Yeah.
black arms and like white gloved hands, like a Mickey Mouse character almost.
Yeah.
But then his body is just a heart. And so we would do like very suggestive things with him on each other. And then we started making up a name and we called him Roberto. I don't know why we picked Roberto.
Well, I love Latin names.
Oh, that's why. I think that was why.
Roberto.
And then Roberto would be like rubbing your arm or your booty. Yeah. He'd be like, oh, see, lady. Yes, I am Roberto.
But anyway, sorry, that was like totally
We digress. We should call this episode I Digress.
Yeah.
But it was small like that.
super small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
What did you? Was it a good location to stay at though? Like right in the center of everything.
I wouldn't recommend staying in Shinjuku
Noisy,
area. As you know, we loved Chiba, and that's why I brought you back to Chiba. Was because for the same amount that you would get in Tokyo, if you're just a little bit on the other side, on Chiba's side,
like half hour, right? 20 minutes.
Yeah,
half
kind
hour?
of like near Disney Sea, Tokyo Disneyland, that side of things, or even like Zozo Stadium. That area is where we like to be at a lot.
Yeah.
That area is nice because for that price that you would pay in Tokyo for a very small one, you get a pretty large or normal size apartment.
It's big. They have like for that price, you get at least 2 bedrooms, and then you get like a giant normal sized kitchen, a giant normal sized living dining area. Like it's awesome.
Our video of when we go to Tokyo game show, we walk around and show you around an apartment that is in Chiba there.
Yeah, if you didn't watch that, we'll link it up above or down below for you.
Yeah,
So
we're
to
probably
check it
cutting in some shots as we speak.
Did you meet any like random people? Did you make any new friends? Was there any like sort of interesting stories that happened to you that one time?
I don't know if you would call them friends, but yes, there was an interesting time when I was in Osaka.
No?
I was going through what I think was
Midlife
Dotonbori.
crisis? Oh.
And I was walking through, and there was a lot of like host clubs, and I didn't think much about it, but I just had on my backpack and I was walking through, and this guy comes up to me in a very nice suit, and he looks around and he goes, "Hey," I go, "Uh-huh." He goes, "Steaks, steaks, steaks," and I was like, "Steaks." I was like, and I had just eaten, like literally not even 10 minutes before. I was like, "No, not hungry, not hungry." He goes, "Huh. No. He's like, and he thinks for a second, he goes, and it clicks on him, he goes, "Sex." And I was like, no.
Did you talk to anybody else? Did you make any friends? That sort of thing?
So I literally did not talk for about 2 weeks while I was in Japan for
Not
3
even
weeks.
to yourself? In the bathroom?
I mean, sure, I would talk to
shower?
myself because I was the only one to talk to.
Yeah.
When you don't speak the language
You
and
didn't
you're
have
in
a
another
Roberto?
country.
You didn't have a Roberto. You didn't have a stuffed Roberto to play with.
No.
That's why. Oh, sorry.
But yeah, I didn't talk out of the 3 weeks that I was there. For 2 weeks, I didn't talk to anybody. So by the time I came back to LAX, it was like massive culture shock and almost anxiety because I hadn't heard anybody speak English for 2 weeks, and I hadn't said anything in 2 weeks. So coming back and like everybody speaking English, even like on the plane ride, it was a little like, whoa, this feels really weird right now,
I feel that
and
all
like
the time
not
when
good.
I come home. Yeah, I feel that all the time. Everywhere I've been to, like a different country that I've been to, and every time I fly back home, you hear English again. You're like, what? Why? It's weird.
It's super weird, especially when you're in a country where like language becomes white noise because you just don't understand it, so you just block it out almost.
True.
And in Japan, that's what I was kind of doing because I was just blocking it out. I was like, I don't understand any of this. I still got by. I still was able to like order things and like go on train stations or whatever, and I would hear them. The train station stuff speak in English, but that would be about all that I could pick up. Or if there was a foreigner, 5 rows down, you can pick up the English.
It's true.
Far away when you're in another country,
Definitely
which I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't plan on that being a thing either.
I see.
So yeah, that was kind of my experience. What about you?
Well, in terms of traveling overseas solely, it would have to be Turkey was one of them.
Yep.
And then as well as Vancouver, British Columbia was also another. But that was more of a weekend trip, so I didn't really get to stay there as long as I wanted to, unfortunately. I only had like 3 days because it was like I did like a long weekend thing. That was it. It was like during, I want to say Labor Day, our Labor Day, the Americans' Labor Day. And then the other time was the rest were basically within the U.S., so kind of counted, but not really. DC, Boston, and Hawaii by myself as well.
No. Doesn't really count. Still, you're still in the safety of America.
Yeah, that's true. But anyways, when I guess Turkey would be the biggest culture shock going alone.
Sure, definitely.
Obviously, a lot of language barriers, which is expected. Like I don't know any Turkish. Hello, how could I know any Turkish? Do I have Turkish friends? No, I do not.
So did you talk to a lot of people in Turkey?
Yeah, I tried like really, really bad simplified English, just like within like 1 or 2 words kind of thing.
Kind of like how you talk to your mom?
But way less.
Really?
Yeah,
even
but way
less.
Yeah, more like toilet or like food and a lot of sign language too.
Yeah, a lot of hand gestures.
And then if it's like restroom, I'd be like holding down my crotch a little bit.
Tell me more.
Like restroom. And then getting lost is expected because I get lost anywhere I go, even out here at home.
So that was nothing new.
Yeah, that was nothing new. It's totally expected. I'm always navigationally challenged. But yeah, definitely like language barriers. And then I didn't really have technology at the time, no Google Translate or anything. So there was a lot of guessing at the same time.
Yeah.
And then you had to use your translation book, those travel translation books that you buy whenever you go someplace else. You buy like a phrase book, whatever. Nope. So I had stuff like that as well as reference.
Never bought that.
Well, in 2017, there was already smartphones.
Well,
like when I went.
When did you go to Turkey?
2012. And
at least they had smartphones.
But not Google Translate, and none of those apps was in existence yet. There was hardly any of that yet.
I'm trying to think.
Plus, I had like the shittiest iPhone ever. It was like an iPhone 3. So there was nothing in it.
She's the worst at buying new technology.
Yeah,
she will wait till her
10 years.
Old like 1980s cell phone that you need a backpack for just to hold a battery is like completely run out of juice. Where she's like, oh, finally I'll switch to a new phone.
Yeah, it takes. I don't buy new technology unless it's 10 years later at least, or 5 years if it's most recent.
And sometimes when she buys new technology, she buys the older technology.
Yeah,
so she'll get a new phone now, but it will be from like a phone from 2012 that she'll buy.
Well, it's cheaper. But anyhow, the point is, during that time there was no Google Maps.
Okay.
Or there was Google Maps, just not like the translation and not like those like travel related kind of apps. It wasn't really a thing yet.
Sure.
So it made things a bit more difficult.
Yeah.
So you're expected to get lost all the time already. And then what I also do is I will get like traditional maps, like paper maps, and then try to find my way through that as well. So a lot of those that I was able to find. Like because if you're a AAA member, you do get free maps as well. Physical maps. I don't know if they still do that or not, but I hope they do because sometimes we still need our paper maps.
That was our commercial. Not sponsored, by the way.
No.
By Paper Maps. Are they still around? Do they sponsor people?
AAA was the sponsor.
Oh, yeah. AAA, are you still around? Do you sponsor people? Come find us.
Yeah. And then while I also did join a tour actually when I was in Turkey because there are actually certain parts where I wouldn't be able to go by myself without knowing more Turkish. So that was the point where I knew I had to join like a tour group to go to those specific spots that I wanted to go to.
Like what?
They're called G Adventures, not sponsored again. So they're more like a small-ish kind of tour company. Well, they grew over the years.
I mean, like what tours do they do?
Oh,
Not what tour group?
Oh, I see. The tour groups was the places that you go to were like the historical sites, the UNESCO sites, as well as like the national parks kind of thing. And then like these really, really remote small towns that you can't really get to unless you drive up, which when I'm traveling overseas, I never rent a car because I do not feel comfortable driving overseas. I mean, I don't even feel comfortable driving out here. It was those kind of places where it would be harder for me to go by myself because of really, really difficult language barriers, that's for sure. I'm getting drunker by the moment.
Yeah, drink some more of your own.
Yeah. Apologize. Oh dear. Oh.
Yes, bow down.
But yeah, it was quite difficult to travel around by yourself, especially when it's a language that's not even similar to English at all. Yeah, so those are the difficulties about traveling to certain countries, not all. If it's like really different from like say a language that you're adjusted to, of course it would be harder. But like I said before, there are smartphones these days, and there's so many different apps that you can download easily to translate whatever you want to say, translate it to the other person. They have all these technology things where you put it in your ear or whatever, and they have a device where you say something and it translates it back to that person. I don't remember any of the names of it, unfortunately.
It sounded like a product that you can buy and take with you?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a bunch of those. There's little like translator, mobile translators.
I don't know any of the brand names, unfortunately, because I can't. It's not something that I plan to use.
But if somebody from those brands are still watching and you want to donate to us and sponsor
we can try it.
We'll try it out.
But I don't know how I'm gonna feel about it because I'm just so used to like everything by the books or by paper.
And I'm so used to everything being in English. That's it.
Oh, okay. I was like, is that for real? Well, the pros about traveling solo is because it makes you a stronger person. You're more confident about yourself after you do it, especially after you do it more than once. Once is more like baby steps, really. But more you do it, the better off you are when it comes to solo travel. And you'll feel even way more comfortable if it's like certain like life situations that you have to deal with. You're just mentally stronger. That's what I think.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. I don't know what else. Yeah. She said it correct.
Cons of solo traveling. I did not see much of a con to that besides, I don't know, not having the technology that you have right now, especially if you're a youngling. You're adaptable to the technology. For me, I didn't have any cons about it. Like, I enjoyed every second of it. I enjoyed getting lost. I enjoyed not understanding their language and trying real hard to say it back to them or trying to understand them. Like, the challenges is what I love about it.
Yeah, they're trying to speak English and you're trying to speak their language, so it's a mutual understanding on the barrier.
Yeah, it's great. Like, I like that feeling of being challenged. But like, it's not easy to travel solo, especially. Would you travel again? Solo travel? Even if we're married now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say if we didn't know each other, would I still be traveling? Yeah, definitely. I would have gone back to Japan the second year.
Would you be interested to go someplace else that would be like a different language? Would you
if it's
be
a place,
interested in that?
If it's a place that you and I both want to go.
No, as a solo travel. Like, say that we never met, that you're still single.
Yeah.
Would you go on another trip by yourself again, someplace else? That's what I meant.
Yeah, definitely. 100%.
Cool.
You?
Where?
Anywhere I wanted to go. Okay. That was on my list. I mean, Japan was. I knew I was going to go to Japan
that was
a lot.
Your first, yeah.
And, you know, I knew afterwards that I want to go back to a lot. So it's always will be number one on my list, I think.
What would be your number two?
Well, like what we
Italy
chose recently, which was Taiwan.
Oh, okay.
That's a pretty good two, I think.
Yeah.
Just for all the I just know there's going to be so much amazing food and really cool things to
Yeah.
go see and explore.
Definitely.
But yeah, Poland. I mean,
Oh, that'd
you
be
can start
fun.
naming
Eastern
out
Europe would be
Norway.
cool.
Yeah.
Oh, Norway,
Switzerland.
yeah, Norway was cool.
We want to do Switzerland with bikes down the mountain.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, I can't really trek anymore because I have really bad feet over the years.
But this is a bicycle, so maybe it's easier.
Yeah, it's definitely much easier. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, really, anywhere. I'll
Awesome.
go see everything.
Yeah, the same. I would do it again. I would like to go to mostly Africa because I haven't been on that continent yet, unfortunately. So that's one of them that I'm still missing. And then I'd like to travel more of Southeast Asia, maybe like Cambodia, Indonesia. And I also want to go to Jordan actually because I like to see like different UNESCO sites and I like the idea of it, like being like a mystery kind of country. And then, yeah, just a lot of other places. Like I also want to go check out Jerusalem as well because of the architecture,
that'd be cool.
as well as the food.
Yeah.
Well, everything is the food, really. And then what else? Australia, New Zealand.
Australia,
more
New
of
Zealand, yeah.
Western Europe. I'm not too interested in. More of Eastern European. More like the Croatia, or like freaking Georgia, like those quiet countries I want to know more about. I like to go there as well. Scandinavia for sure. I've already been to Norway, but I like to go with Will next time. And then if we have time, we'll go to Finland, Sweden, and the other ones out there.
I'll be skiing through all of it, by the way. If you're a snowboarder like me, high five, just virtual high five to you.
If you're a wannabe snowboarder that does it badly, virtual high five to you too. So yeah, the other part I liked about solo traveling is that I got to meet a lot of cool people along the way.
I met some people too.
I joined a traveling community online back in 2006, whatever it was, or 2008 more like. And that gives you an opportunity to kind of meet up with like travelers who happen to be in that area during that same time. So for example, what we used to do is we'll go on the forums on that website and then kind of say like, oh, I'll be in, I don't know, Vancouver on September 12th to the 13th. Anyone free to meet up for dinner or drinks, And kind of mention we're going to be so-and-so at this spot. Who wants to meet up? Who happens to be in town? Who lives here? We want to meet some locals. And that's basically how the whole traveling community works. And then if you don't want to do that, you can do your own stuff. Like sometimes certain places that I've been to, I just don't want to meet people because I just want to be by myself, you know? So that's when I don't tell people where I'm at and then I just kind of go. What?
Yeah, hide from people.
Yeah, hide from people. Yeah, there are some days or some trips where I just want to hide from people. I don't want to see anybody, or I just need some time by myself and think about other things, you know, in life. You should also go to a locals bar, where only locals go to. Like find like a super suburban-ish small area where you just see nothing but the locals there, and go to the random bars. And then you'll end up making like a friend or two while you're there. That's what happened with me and Will when we went to Japan. One of our now friends, he is one of the bartender guys. And we just randomly went into his bar without knowing anybody there, obviously, and not even knowing Japanese, because a lot of his customers are all like locals and all Japanese and stuff. But it gives you a chance to meet the locals and talk to them a bit more and ask them about their culture.
Well, surprisingly about him, though, he spoke English, which is why we became friends in general. I think we did go to another bar.
We did, yeah, the chicken place. Yeah, Kobe?
Oh, I wasn't thinking that one. I was thinking the one that we did after the mall. That really weird one near that street with the wooden sliding door.
Yeah.
He spoke Japanese and he did not talk to us at all.
I guess it just depends if they're comfortable talking to you or not, seeing that you're a foreigner.
But he had lived in Australia
for a year, he said.
Yeah,
I think he was doing like a study abroad program in college back in the...
So his English was really good.
Yeah, it's definitely good for local, really. I mean, every time I go someplace, I don't expect to speak to someone else in English anyways, but he just kind of did, and it just kind of, I don't know, it just kind of happened.
Now we're best friends forever. He said when we come back that he's going to take us to an izakaya with his friends, and we're going to hang out and meet his wife.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
He didn't mention about the wife part, though.
We said you all have to bring
You
all
have to
your
bring
wives.
your wives. Yeah, definitely. Because
Yeah.
otherwise I'll be the only female, which is okay with me because I hang out with males a lot back then. Oops.
So do I.
What I was saying that meeting people during your travels in your 20s is the best time to do it because once you turn a certain age, it's much harder and you become more of a hermit because you have done it, you lived it, you've done it. Like, who gives a shit anymore? I'm just traveling because I just want to see X and X and I'm not here to make more new friends, so to speak. You know what I mean? It changes. It just changes a lot after 10
I didn't
years.
pay my money to go travel just to make friends. If I would have made
did.
friends, I would have just made friends here. I would not spend that money. I went there to go see those goddamn
I did
different
too.
world cultures.
Yes, I did the same.
And like be absorbed in them and
Yeah.
loving to them.
But then to me,
respectful.
To me at the time, instead of like sightseeing, which is a large part of what I did during the daytime too.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
The damn time.
During the day as well. But my point is that why not try to meet a local friend? You know, meet a local friend. That's the best way
To what?
to learn their culture, to tell you things that you may not know from observing
That helps
afar.
too.
So I hope you guys are inspired to travel by yourself, especially if you're in your 20s. Best time to do it.
And even if it's later, feel free to do it.
Yeah, definitely,
You're never
if you
too
haven't done
old
it.
to try something
Yeah,
new.
I know, but I'm just saying that if you're in your 20s, you're more open-minded than you were in your 30s or 40s.
And I'm saying to all those older people who think they're too old to travel, you can do it.
Our camera's
it's
falling.
totally fine.
Yeah.
The camera's been falling.
Yeah, it's falling off
Yeah.
of our tripod.
So
So it's our cue to go. Yeah, so tell us, where is it that you want to go during your solo travel?
Yeah.
Why haven't you done solo travel yet? How many times have you done it if you've done it as well?
And hopefully we've inspired you to try to go out and go do it.
Yeah, it's super awesome. It changes your life, makes you stronger. There's nothing bad about it, besides getting lost, but I don't really see that as a bad thing. I just see it as an adventure.
And still take precautions when you are
Oh,
traveling.
yeah, of course.
Don't assume
Yeah.
that nothing bad's going to happen to you just because you're in a safe space.
Yeah, definitely. Like anywhere in the world, you have to be careful of your surroundings.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see you in the next episode. Remember to click on the subscribe button and hit the bell notification. And then I'll see you in the next podcast. Hopefully sober. Goodbye.
Bye.